Once again, it's your brother, Ausar and Ka, and this is, and welcome to the world according to Snitches. Small interruption there. The NBA playoffs and also um, snitches in the neighborhood, right? Let's start with the game, right? The game, because that's less important than the real life events that happen in a war or with a snitch that are life affecting changes. And let me tell you right now, concerning the NBA playoffs, let me first shout out the Sacramento Kings, who took a stand when the police officers shot that young man in the back in his backyard on his cell phone, which I believe I spoke on earlier. Sacramento Kings, salute to you today. You did the right thing. You did the right thing. Salute from a Psalm card today, right? But let's go. Let's get involved right now, right? I'm gonna share my screen so you can kind of, you know, you can get involved and you can see what's going on. This way, it's not so, I gotta imagine. I can't. I don't quite. I don't know. Boom. See, you know everything. You know everything, right? You got the Western Conference. You got the Eastern Conference, right? Let's start in the East. The big talk is always LeBron is the only one who's coming out of there, et cetera, blah 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 blah. LeBron is going to be the one to come out of the East, is what's stated. However, however, that may not be the case. I believe it's the case. Shout out to my brother Angelo Turpin, who lives in Ohio. Let's start from the top. Raptors Wizards. I still don't know who won that first game, but I was watching it. The Wizards had the upper hand late in Toronto, and then Toronto came back uh, due to Drake's antics. Drake must have sang a song or something. Look alive, look alive, look alive, because all of a sudden the Raptors started balling. But Wizards versus Raptors, first round Eastern Conference. I'm not so sure the number one gets it done against the number eight, especially if John Wall starts to have those moments of grandeur and they click together as a team as they usually gel together. It was just the Wizards versus uh, the Cavaliers last year, right? Who's to say that won't happen again now that John Wall is healthy, ready, and they push Toronto to the end of their limits in just the first game? It's just the first game. They already jumping on your head. So I'm going to say possible upset. Wizards advance. Cavaliers Pacers. Let's move off of that one, right? Toronto's supposed to win, Drozen, etc. But Wizards may advance. And don't look for a head coach Raptors, look for a superstar. Look for a superstar who can change things, not just a jump shooter. You need a big body who can move around. Let's go to the next one. Cavaliers Pacers, man. Pacers have gotten at the Cavaliers for most of this season. I believe 3-4, if I'm not mistaken. But they don't have enough firepower. But this is really going to show us who the Cavaliers are in this first round, because Oladipo is over there on the Pacers and he is tripping, he is flipping, and he will push the button, right? He will definitely detonate, but he doesn't have enough tools. Doesn't have enough tools with him to get it done. And the Cavaliers find a way. Cavaliers will meet the Raptors or meet the Wizards in round two. Let's go. 76ers Heat. Dwayne Wayne is coming off the bench. Dwayne Wade is coming off the bench. I like to call him Dwayne Wayne because y'all know the old sitcom in the 80s we used to watch, A Different World. But Dwayne is off the bench. The bench has scored like 42 points a night. Or 48 points a night when they coming, when he's coming off the bench, as opposed to their normal, that's their average, as opposed to their normal 36. So even though the Sixers are favored to get to the Eastern Conference Finals because Ben is over there and somebody's injured, the brother, South African brother, and he's injured. And because of that injury, I think maybe the chickens were counted before they hatched. I think the Heat may advance unless the referees decide otherwise. Olenek just came over there from the Celtics, the 7-footer. So I know you don't think the Sixers is just going to walk through this one, and their big man is hurt. They only got Simmons. I think they sit down early, possibly. I think that's another upset. Can't count out the veteran. Celtics, Bucks. Let's go. Kyrie is hurt, y'all. Antetokounmpo is not hurt, y'all. Celtics play good as a unit, y'all. But Antetokounmpo is not hurt. And Kyrie Irving is hurt. I think this is another upset. I think this will be maybe the first time that the East has the lower seeds advance more than the upper seeds. I think the Bucks at number 7 beat the number 2. I think the Heat at number 6 beat the number 3. I think the 4 knocks out number 5. But I think your Wizards at number 8 beat the Raptors. What's really good? What's going on? Let's go to the Western Conference. Rockets, Timberwolves. I know Jimmy Two-Step is back, but you're not beating the Rockets. It's too much firepower over there. Chris is over there. James is over there. They can all shoot threes over there. You don't shoot the 3-ball like that. Rockets, easy work. Easy work, like a Mayweather fight. Thunder versus Jazz. This is a difficult one to call. I need Carmelo. I need Paul. I need Michael. I need my Thunder to provide the rain and thunder, because the Jazz will get at you. I'm not sure who wins that right there. I'm rolling with the Thunder. I just think they find a way to get it done, because when Mike takes a game over, man, when Michael takes a game over, the game is sometimes over, right? Even against the best, the Warriors, the whoever. When Michael takes a game over, Michael Westbrook, sometimes the game is over, period. Trailblazers, Pelicans. Trailblazers got the shooting, but even without Boogie, even without Cousins, Anthony is still the boss, period, point blank. So I believe the Pelicans advance over the Trailblazers. 6 beats 3. The Warriors, Spurs, no Kawhi, no advance, period. I like Lamar. I think he disappeared, Lamar Aldridge. I think he disappeared last year. I bet you he finds a bigger hole to crawl in this year. Warriors, easy work. Even without Steph Curry, easy work. So Rockets, Thunder, Pelicans, Warriors, Wizards, Cavaliers, Heat, Bucks. In that order, right? in that order. And we'll call the remaining seeds later. Let me see if I can I move these? I can't move these. I was about to move them over. So that's how I see the playoffs. Real talk, right? Real talk. You think otherwise, feel free to chime in the comment section. Tell me, Ausar, you crazy as heck. You know, you out your rabbit mind, whatever you want to say, yo. you getting it from your boy right now, man. I'm gonna tell it like it is, man. We in the honeycomb hideout. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. But moving forward, right? Snitches. A lot of times, here's the thing, right? There's a lot of people who go to jail for playing the game, the drug game. You know, for those of you who are oblivious in the 2000s, when you play the drug game, you may get caught. If you get caught, the slogan was, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime, right? Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. You know what it is. Yet, several of the so-called tough guys in the 90s and 80s, early 70s, snitched. They talked. And they become more famous than those who don't talk. Right? And so we have a dilemma here. We have a slight dilemma. And it could be a positive or a negative thing, right? I'm just going to name a few. Brian Glaze. Shout out to Brian. Good to see he's doing his thing. I don't even really consider Brian a snitch, right? He made a decision that would have been made against him, right? Him, Fat Cat, the Fat Cat story, other people involved in that. The brother is out now, and he's trying to keep kids. We'll get to that in a minute, right? We'll talk about Brian in a minute. Alpo Martinez is out, right? Very powerful. You may have watched the movie Paid in Full, right? Him, AZ. Shout out to AZ's little brother. We hung out in Harlem when I used to live out there on 144th and St. Nick. Occasionally, what's up? Nicky Barnes, big times. You know that whole story. They violated the laws, and he felt he needed to talk. Frank Lucas. There's a lot of talkers, right, in the drug game. The question here is this. Snitch, if you in the hood, we're going to put one in you. Or you snitched. In some of their cases, like Alpo put away Wayne, right? And Wayne did a lot of dastardly things in the hood. We don't really want the hood to be like that, right? You don't really want a lot of killers running around your neighborhood, unchecked, uncouth, and the next person could be you, just depending on the mood swing or whatever the case, right? I've been around a lot of killers. Some are really cool, very cool people. They just have to do what they have to do because there's beef or whatever the case. But some of them are very bipolar, very very they're weirdos, some of them, right? But they're so influential to your mind because your favorite movies generally are New Jack City, The Godfather. Oh, Tony, listen. You probably got a whole list of, you got Scarface, you got Carlito's Way, you got Joe Pesci, come on, man. We're talking about snitches that you eventually glorify. They are now out. Some of them walking boldly in the neighborhood, right? If they have that power and that influence, what's to say they don't commune together and start something positive to stop the kids from doing what they're doing, such as Brian Glaze, right? Glaze, if you will, from Brooklyn. The brother is trying to be influential. He wrote a very good book. Um, and he's talking to the children. He's telling you don't choose these paths. So if you get him, you get an Alpo. You know, Alpo is the biggest name as of late because he's the newest out of a lot of these guys. You get an Alpo out there doing work for the community, for the kids, for the children, for your babies, doing the right things. What's to say they can't be influential and change the gang culture, right? You always say stuff like, what if they let Tukey Williams out? What if they let Hoover out? Can you imagine if they let Wayne out? You know the influence and the potential that they can give to someone who idolizes them in the hood with new direction, new mindset, new methodology, new way. Always said, if you're going to give somebody a felony, the first thing that they need to do if they get out is put them on the stock market because they were chasing money in the first place. Teach them the rules. Then you can truly make America great again because they'll find all the loopholes in the world to make money and have money churn. You understand? Once you see that they're not violent anymore, they should be, come on, these could make some of the best stockbrokers ever. You know, some of these guys seen millions of dollars. Rayful Edmonds, right? Millions of dollars, Rayful. Turned the NBA contract down. It wasn't paying enough. Who does that? So, community, you make the call because they're out here. They're out here, they're moving around freely. Usually means, right? But if they start to make things happen in the community that are good, what is their value after such a rigorous story, such a rigorous road as a human being? A lot of them have some really rough stories to show that, hey, I did this. They made a movie about me. And guess what? I'm out. Let's do this, kiddos. I would like to see them unify and do something positive. You did something negative already, right? You know what the crack era was about. Let's see if they could do something positive. Last, Trump is on television praying and he just bombed Syria. I'm not even sure why he bombed Syria. I don't even see the motive there, right? Yes, there's a lot of stuff happening in Syria. Russia's connected to Syria. Why are we allowing, listen, this is Trump's first year. It's only been 1 year. Is it time to impeach the president or what? Is it time or what? Right? There's a lot of stuff happening over there. A lot of things off the cusp. Presidents start wars in order to stay in office, period. Clinton thought his office was being threatened. You know what he did? You got to get it, Saddam. It is what it is. So that's a chess move. That's not a, oh, God, please pray for Syria move. No. You're not fooling anybody at all. The question is, can we deal with another 4 more years with this guy in office? What are we trying to do? What are we truly trying to do? Hopefully not that. Hopefully not that. I think we need to, as Americans, feel embarrassed, number one, Number two, get him out of office. It's time. And it ain't even been long. It's a whole year. The cat was talking about starting a war before he got in the office. And we let him get in there anyway. It's time. It's time, baby. That's all it is to it, you know. Just soak on some of this stuff today. And like I said, you put in the chat, put in the chat so I can see it. I'll go back because I don't look at the chat when I'm doing these. Generally, I don't. Go in there, tell me who you think's going to win the NBA playoffs, or who you got at least in the next round. We'll cover this throughout. Who you got in the next round? What you think about the snitching situation? Very important. And the Syria thing. What should be the next move for us besides impeaching the president and making sure you vote when this term comes to an end in 3 years? That's the world according to Ausar.